Hi guys, so welcome back to another video where I take you to the world of tennis, and together we'll review things that you may have missed in the world of tennis. And today we'll be talking about a couple of things, so let's dive right into it. So we start with Carlos Alcaraz, and the news with Carlos Alcaraz is that for the first time in his career he's been able to reach, or he's been able to accumulate 10,000 points. Um, that is 10,000 ATP points. So it places him in close proximity with Senna. If Alcaraz is able to leave New York with the US Open title, he would have surpassed 13,000 points and he would be number one, as in he would be number one on the world table. So that is it with Alcaraz, and he's doing great things. And also, Alcaraz has become the first man, or he's on course to become the first man to win the US Open without losing a set. At the time of recording this video, he has a match with Djokovic later today. And so far, he's won 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 in all his matches. And Alcaraz fans will really be happy to see what he's doing, as he's a player that normally tends to drop a set to the opponents. But this time, he's decided to go full in or all in. So in his first match, he beat Opelka 3-0. Then he beat Belushi 3-0. Then Dadri also took 3-0. Then he beat um, Rindenek 3-0. Then Lihika also took 3-0. So today he's meeting Djokovic, and would he be able to beat Djokovic in 3 straight sets? It's something that people will be willing to see, considering the fact that Djokovic at his age is still playing some impressive tennis. So that is it for Carlos Alcaraz. And upon beating Lihika 3-0, Alcaraz became the first, or no, he became the youngest man to reach a Grand Slam semi-finals without dropping a set, since Rafa Nadal did it in 2008. So this is over 12 years. Yes, 17 years. So this is 17 years, 16, 17 years. He's been able to accumulate that, the youngest man since Rafa Nadal to reach a Grand Slam semi-finals without dropping a set. And more on Alcaraz. At age 22 years and 120 days, he became the youngest, or the third youngest player to collect 9 semi-finals. That is 9 semi-finals. He's into semi-finals for 9 times in the Grand Slams in the Open era. And at the same age, Roger Federer and Jannik had only collected 1. So it's very, very big. And again, Alcaraz is on the table with some great names. He's there with Borg, he's there with Nadal, and there he is on number 3. So that is something that is very, very impressive with Carlos Alcaraz. And after his match against Lahiki, he was asked what he thinks on taking number 1 position back on the rankings. And his comments was that it's really difficult not to think about it. Every time I step onto court, I try not to think about it. If I think about the number 1 spot too much, I'm going to put pressure on myself. I just want to step on court and try to do my own thing and follow my goals on the match. That is, try to enjoy the match as much as I can. This number 1 is there, but I'm trying not to think too much about it. So that is Alcaraz saying that he tries not to think too much about the number 1 position. He just goes to court and he tries to enjoy the match as he can, because when he thinks about the number 1 position too much, he's going to put too much pressure on himself, and that would not let him enjoy his match very well. And that is something that is impressive there. So that is it on Carlos Alcaraz. So let's quickly jump to Jannik Sinner and what he's doing. Alright, so on Jannik Sinner, Sinner became one of the men, and he joins Rafa Nadal in doing it in two seasons, compared to Roger Federer, who did it in 4 seasons, and Djokovic, who did it in 3 seasons. Um, Jannik has become one of the men who has been able to collect 23 plus. That is, he's won 23 plus matches in consecutive years when it comes to Grand Slams. And you know, after beating Bublik 6-1, 6-1, 6-1, he joined a few men who've been able to also beat their opponents in breadsticks, straight sets at the US Opens. So he joins Djokovic, Federer, and Henman, who did it in 2015, 2005, 2002 consecutively. And Jannik Sinner also became the youngest player in the Open era to reach four men's single quarterfinals at Grand Slams in consecutive seasons, surpassing Djokovic, and he's been able to do it in 24 years, 8 days, as compared to Djokovic, who did it in 24 years, 99 days. And talking about Sinner and Djokovic, they are also the only players who've been able to reach every semi-finals for the Grand Slam in the past year. So they are the only players who've been able to do that. So that is it for Djokovic and Sinner. And let me put this out there quickly. I was very disappointed with Sinner's match against Bublik. Bublik came into the game with a defeatist mindset. I mean, as someone who had not considered a single break point due to the US Open second round, and someone who had won 50 plus of his service matches, he came into the game with like a defeatist mindset, as someone who thought that he couldn't even beat Sinner. And it started with his post-match interview where he beat himself down. I am thinking more and more about Sinner being the better player than he was. And he went into the match and he performed badly, like really, really badly against Sinner, taking breadsticks in these straight sets. And I think it's something that I want to comment about. And this is not the first time I've seen Bublik do it while meeting Sinner. It's like every time he meets Sinner, he's already put it in his head that Sinner is going to play better than he is, and he cannot beat Sinner. And I think that it's shameful for an athlete to have that mindset when it comes to games. So that is it on Sinner. Let's see for Djokovic. All right, so that is it. And for Djokovic became one of the oldest men, or he became the oldest player, sorry, in the Open era at 38 years and 94 days to reach all four men's singles quarterfinals at a Grand Slam events in a season. And he's also become the oldest player and the first player to do it in 9 different seasons. So he's become the first player to reach at least the quarterfinals in all 4 majors in 9 different seasons. So for 9 seasons, he's done it. No other player has been able to do it there. And he joins Sinner as the only players to reach the semi-finals of a Grand Slam. That is four Grand Slam semi-finals. He becomes the only player with Sinner to do it in the last season. So in the past 1 year, he and Sinner have been the only players able to achieve that. So that is it for Djokovic when it comes to the US Opens. Guys, if you did enjoy this video, subscribe, like, share. Tell me how I can make it better, and I'll catch you on another video. Bye.